Real time, baby.
All right. So today, Bobby, we're going to talk about what? Network marketing, MLM.
Ooh, dirty word.
It gets a bad rep because of the way it's being run and has been run for the last, decade, maybe more?
It's probably more than, dude, it's more than a decade. A lot, way more.
Right.
But 30 or 40 years, maybe.
Yeah. So for those that have this, stigma on network marketing, they think it's a pyramid scheme or Ponzi scheme. We can tell you flat out, it's not. All right. And now, this is coming from people that have not only been in it, but also have even went to business school. So myself, I do have a master's in marketing. And I got to tell you, it's in the textbooks. They teach this to graduate folks that are looking to become executives at companies and, and whatnot. So for those of you that out there can comment and rant about how it's a pyramid scheme, you're dead wrong. I'm telling you that right now. It's just that it's a business model that was used and was most effective pre-internet age. Would you agree with that?
Correct. So, we're not against MLM, network marketing. We're not against it. Is there a lot of things that may be not good about it sometimes, what people have done within it? Yes. But as a decision, we both agree that it is an integral part of business. Network marketing is a big part of business. Not meaning that you have to be in network marketing company to do that. But just like you said, it's a type of marketing. It's a portion of business. You can learn a lot from network marketing. It's just there's a lot of positive and negative. There's a bunch of people out there that hate it and think it's a scam or think it's this. I could see where they're coming from because there is certain types of it that can seem that way, especially if you've been around those who don't know what the hell they're doing. But on a business perspective, like you said in the textbooks, why do they have this in a textbook? Why are they talking about network marketing? Because literally it's a form of marketing. It's a literal form of advertising. And that's what we want to talk about, how we perceive it that way, break it up as a scientific way of looking at network marketing, and give you some background of, what it was like to be in network marketing, the goods and bads.
So one of the things, product that you would say you started was legal protection, right? It was like that legal product that you can get subscribers to and whatnot.
I remember a long time ago, my parents had that. Then their friend that they worked with came over and talked about that. I was younger, so I didn't really know what they were talking about. But I know my parents had that for years. They had legal protection where they could have a lawyer on call in case they needed legal help. They can call a lawyer without having to pay those big, hourly fees up front. They can get a certain amount of work done for very little per month, which is an awesome idea.
And it was a family friend basically that sold that product to your parents.
Correct.
Right?
Who wasn't a lawyer, who wasn't, didn't do anything legal. It wasn't anything legal that she worked in or anything like that. Right. That was just something she was doing on the side to make income.
Now, what makes the business model very unique and even controversial is that now that same friend that sold them that product can go out and recruit people on his own or build a business team together or build a couple folks interested in doing the same thing he just did, which is basically word of mouth marketing, except that now if he brings these folks on board with him to do the same thing he's doing, which is word of mouth marketing, he's building a network. He's building, a team of people to help him do that. And he also gets compensated a percentage of what they make, right?
Correct. That's the basic of how.
That sounds like real estate to me. That sounds like the financial services industry to me. I mean, there's so many industries that operate, like even franchising, there's a franchisor, right? And then below in that pyramid, you got the franchisee, and below that pyramid, and below that, you have the employees, and obviously the person at the top is making more,
Yeah, and I want to try to see if I could play devil's advocate because I do agree as network marketing as being a way of marketing a solid piece of business. Is it the only one? Absolutely not. Right? Is it something that, I'd say this is the only way to do business? Absolutely not. Now, is there some parts of network marketing that are completely off? Yes. And the reason is because people make it off with any business.
What do you mean?
So, for example, if I go to, let's say, a McDonald's, right? Now, I go in there and the person that's working there treats me horrible. Like they're bad. I still get my food. Now the food is horrible. It just tastes like crap, right? It's everything about the experience is messed up. I didn't like that experience. Now, do I say McDonald's as a whole is garbage? or that whole business sucks because I had a bad experience doing that. No, it's because the person that was serving me and the person that made it screwed up, and they messed up my personal experience of doing that. Now, network marketing means you have a product itself. Now, whatever the product is, I don't care what it is. Most people think you think network marketing, think of vitamins or some crap like that.
And I just want to point out very quickly, you have to have a product in it to be
correct.
Considered network marketing.
Number one thing, the difference that people say that it's a pyramid scheme is illegal or whatever the hell they say, right? Yes, they are correct if they're dealing with something that has no product. That is a pyramid. That is a Ponzi scheme.
That's like Bernie Madoff in finance.
Yeah.
Where he really didn't have the investments. He was making it all up and people were giving him
yeah,
money.
But a rich white guy does it and it's cool.
Yeah,
right?
Seriously.
Meanwhile, you got the young kid that does the same exact thing.
Right.
And he's he's in a pyramid, he's a scam artist, whatever. This fool does the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Right? What do I mean by
the highest level of business?
The highest level of business. What do I mean that he did the same exact thing as the young kid who just, who works at McDonald's, like say, and has the business part-time? Because Madoff, he promised people you would make X amount of dollars of this percentage of interest you can make on your money if you give me this amount of money. No guarantee, no product. He just said, I will get you X amount of percentage, whatever it was, 25%, that much if you give me this money. There's no tangible thing in there. He made a promise, a fictitious, right, from the movie. What was that movie called? The one with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's the finance guy. I don't remember what the movie's called. Where he basically said, if you give me this money, I'm going to give you a percentage. And he kept getting everyone to give him money. Now, he did it easier because he already had a history in being in finance and investing money. But at the end of the day, he promised someone a intangible thing that didn't exist if they gave him money.
And for you young bucks, I got to tell you, like, you have to watch, like, even the documentaries or even movies they have on this guy. Because the reality is, he even created the financial statements from nothing. Like, he fabricated it all.
Yeah.
And this is talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that he was given from these people and they expected that he was going to manage it, turn a hefty profit with it.
Nope.
And it was all just to pay for his lifestyle.
Exactly. That's what a Ponzi scheme is. That's what a pyramid scheme is.
That's when you go to jail.
Jay, I tell Jay, hey, you give me $100,000, $10, whatever, I'll give you 200 grand, right? You give me 100 grand, I'll give this back to you, right? And I tell him that he gives it to me, but there's nothing. I just took the money. I didn't really have a way to do that. I just gave it to him. Now, the way I give him back some money is I tell someone else, hey, can you give me 200 grand because I'll give you this. And I just shift the money, keep shifting it over. Meanwhile, I never made anything yet. I'm just taking this money in. Madoff did that and then made actual invoices that showed people, oh, you're making this money when they didn't make it at all. Right? It's all fake. That's a pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme. There's no actual product connected to it. Now, let me take vitamins. Now, did I ever do anything with vitamins? Did I ever join a network marketing thing with vitamins? No, I did not. I had nothing to do with that. But if I tell Jay, hey, I have these vitamins here, right, and they're good, and you could buy them from me for X amount of dollars, and he buys it from me, he's a consumer. He bought a product from me just like as if I go to CVS and buy some vitamins there. Where the network marketing part comes in is if when he's buying this from me, I tell him, hey, do you want to make money selling this too? And he goes, sure, why not? That's the difference between CVS and me. CVS doesn't give me the option to go sell this vitamin to make money from. Mm-hmm. So one part of network marketing that is a legitimate part of businesses, I can have Jay sell something with me, and now me and him are both salespeople selling vitamins. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's the first part. That people get it. They see there's nothing wrong with it. That's not illegal. That's how stuff works. That's how business works, right? Here's where it gets quirky. Here's where people kind of lose a little bit. I tell Jay, hey, we both could sell this, but I know I don't want to sell things for the rest of my life because that's not what business is. I want to have a business that's built without me. So I tell Jay, hey, if you get a team together, 3 of your friends, 2 of your friends, 5 of your friends that want to make money selling vitamins too, guess what? If you bring them and we all sell vitamins together, you can get a piece of that action. That to someone who maybe is working a job and never been in business or never even thinks about business, right there and then disconnect.
Right.
Because they're used to working for someone else and get the money and get the paycheck immediately right there and then. They never had the option to actually work with somebody else to make more money, make a spread.
They never have the option of being the retailer because they're being supplied the wholesale product.
Correct.
And which network marketing or multi-level marketing, however you want to call it, it basically empowers the individual to do so.
Correct.
You know, and then what do you think is the thing that throws people off? I guess when they get to the point of sharing that with other people to recruit other people to do this, I think the way it's communicated is what gives it a bad name.
Correct.
Would you agree?
Because the two things I think that really gives it a bad rap is, number one is, in and of itself, recruiting is a foreign concept to someone who doesn't want a business or doesn't even think about business or thinks about having a bigger business. Recruiting is weird. Because you've been
recruiting or sponsoring, however,
whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
whatever, they all have different names how they say it, right? Sponsoring, recruiting, you know, joining a team, whatever the case may be. You've never been around that, so you think that's weird. That's an opposite, but in reality, you've been recruited. Let's see, for example, AT&T, they have an HR department. They have that recruit. You have to put your resume to them, and they say if you want to work with us, right? Because they want more people to sell their services and products,
sure,
right? That they call it HR, they call it recruitment, right? But it's under the umbrella of a big corporation, not weird.
Right.
Jay, the lonely loser, right, with a box of vitamins, says, "Hey, you can have friends and we can recruit other people to sell this." Weird, because it's coming from an individual. No one, right? He didn't have to put a formal resume out to him, right, or show them, or show Jay, "Hey, I had this experience in this area," right there, because you feel that people feel that you didn't have to have the experience, or because it wasn't a formality through a corporation or this whole rigmarole with resume, all this kind of stuff, that it's automatically weird or it's automatically, a scam. No, it's not. It's just different type of marketing, different way of doing it. You're in the beginning of the selling phase. In AT&T, you're coming in as to do one thing only, is to work either in the sales to make the sale or to be a part of the system that helps in the background to make the sale. The second part, like you mentioned, Jay, was that's weird, that besides the recruiting part that you have the option to is, okay, now is if I want a big team or small team, whatever, to sell whatever it is, vitamins, this, that, whatever the case may be, how do I motivate people to want to do this with me? Let me explain how the job motivates someone to do it. Because if you don't, you're fired.
It's a carrot with a stick, right?
Right? It's a stick. You already know it's going to be a stick. Yeah. There ain't no carrot in that thing. You know that you're going to work for someone and they're going to give you money for the time that you put in. It's already set in place. Now, the reason why they're giving you X amount of dollars to work with them, because they already know that they have whatever they're selling, it's coming in. They just need more help to do it. So you're trading your time and they give you a paycheck. That's what motivates that person to get a job. They're going in knowing the fact that if they get hired, they will get paid X amount of dollars while they're still employed for the hours that they put in. The other way around. Now here, Jay, who is on my team or my whatever you want to do it, right, selling whatever the case may be, he has nothing. I can't make him stay. He's not on my payroll. I'm not paying him every day to stay. What's going to make him stay to want to be on my team and do this? The only thing that's going to make him stay is going to be whatever the hell he wants. I have to figure out a way to get Jay whatever he wants in life. And the way to do that is to show him how money can help him buy it, get it. But I also have to keep him positive in doing that, because he is getting into a business, sales. Right now, I'm getting him into the sales business by selling vitamins.
Correct. Although they don't, most of that, I don't want to call it industry because it's not technically.
It's not an industry.
But like most of network marketing does not want to admit that that's what it is. Sales.
Stop it. That's what I don't agree with. That's right. One thing that I could agree with other people on.
I mean, that's exactly what you're signing up for. You're not signing up technically to be a business person.
You're not teaching.
You're a salesperson.
Yep.
And the way that salespeople have been motivated in the past with other business models, like just straight direct selling and door-to-door sales, salesmen, which are, even older than network marketing, the way they were motivated was, through compensation, positive affirmations, and even conventions and seminars, or workshops. You see that in network marketing, multi-level marketing. Like there's conventions, there's events, a lot of rah-rah, I guess people call it.
That's one major difference that people get weirded out. That's weird. Because in your job, you don't have rah-rah events.
Yeah, they don't care to motivate you positively.
You have conventions. You go to your convention, right? Your job may have something where you have to go, right? You have to go every quarter, every year, or whatever.
Yeah,
you have to go. So some companies have, if you're in a top sales team or salesperson, you go and they give you a trip or something, right? Or they give you something, or they have events where the managers of the business have to go to figure out how to get things better, right? And to keep the managers happy to train their teams, right? Your job does the same thing, but again, if I'm the manager and let's say I'm in, a T-Mobile or something like that, they got to entice me to stay working at T-Mobile because one, by the money and by keeping me happy. But at the end of the day is they don't have to force me to stay there because I can go anywhere I want because they're giving me the trade-off paycheck. Here, network marketing, the trade-off isn't the paycheck because you're not getting it before you do anything. You're getting paid when you do something. And now to build the team, you need to be motivated to do that and realize you have to be taught business how to do that. And guess what? Motivation takes a lot, right? That's why they have events just like a job would, but the events in network marketing are way different.
Right.
Their music and their positivity, and sometimes there's
speakers,
amazing speakers or clapping or whatever the case may be. That's a little bit weird if you've never been to an event that way. I'll give you an example, just like church. The church you might go to may be a quiet church where you pray, you do your thing, you listen to whatever, and there's not really, much singing or dancing or like that. You go to a different type of church, these people never sit down. There's singing, there's joy, and there's all the kind of, it's just two different types of doing it.
Yeah, some churches are doing backflips and stuff.
Correct. And one church be like, what? That church is not real because they're doing backflips. The other one's like, what are you doing? Celebrate life. You're over there sitting in a pew doing nothing, right? You cough and everyone looks at you the wrong way. You know what I mean? Two different ways, but that's the difference. The network marketers, they have to keep you around to keep you positive to sell because you're selling number one, which is difficult in and of itself.
Right.
The no's you get, that's tough. But now you have to be positive to keep selling and be positive to have a team to be around you. Old bosses that I used to have, negative, nasty, you think I could get away from them? No, because that's the job that I have. I was placed and they were my boss. I had to do whatever the hell they told me to do, no matter how bad they were. I couldn't leave because I chose to stay there because of that paycheck. Network marketing, if I come, he's, hey, join me, be a part of my team. And every day he comes in with an attitude and he's rude and he's nasty and he tells me sell or if you don't sell, you're an idiot, you lose. Guess what? I'm going to go. Nothing's keeping me here. So it has to be extremely positive.
Yeah, you're volunteering to be a part of this because you're not joining a job. You're not
correct.
You're joining basically other people that are salespeople within a company that's supplying whatever you're selling, whatever product at wholesale to you, and then go flip it at retail. But you also get the opportunity to build a distribution network of other people that could do the same.
Two different animals. That's two different things. So people can join network marketing, and here's a positive of network marketing. I can go outside of my job time, outside of the 40, 50 hours, whatever a person's working, right? In a day or late evening or whatever the case may be, a day off. I can take a product that I don't have to be a genius in, that I can understand the quality of the product, memorize what it's about, and go to people and sell it to make some money. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. Sales of products done. The other part, now I also have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to have a team that does this with me. Now I have to get a little bit better because I can't just memorize how a product works and how it's different than the other person. Any idiot can do that.
Sure.
The hard part, in which this is the second positive network marketing I've learned and I've experienced, is they teach you literally how to be in business. One fundamental thing they teach you that's in business is positivity. That's the number one. They're fantastic. Like, I'm talking about the best in business itself. People think, oh, look at Google. Google has sleep pods. They got a free restaurant. They got all this, right? That's awesome. That's freaking cool.
Yeah,
I'm not doubting. That's awesome.
Everybody wants to go work
Everybody
there.
wants to work there because why? Google's thing, you don't have a set time to work in it, but this project has to be done by this time you finish it done, right? You can bring your dog to work. You can go sleep in a pod. You do all this. You could, whatever you want to do. Awesome. They're making their people happy by doing that. Here, different story. They're not putting out all this kind of money. They have to master keeping you positive because it's a volunteer army. Now, in business, guess what? No matter what business it is, you better be freaking positive. You have to stay positive because I'm telling you, negative, you won't get around to doing the stuff, the work you got to do, the people you got to meet, the sales you got to make. You're negative. You're out. You're shut out to the world. No one wants to be around you. So one thing that I learned from network marketing, that if you need help in this area, go to one. Even if you just go to get positivity, because I guarantee you, anyone you meet in any type of network marketing, they're gonna make you feel like the best thing on earth. Mm-hmm. You're a sad sack of crap walking through that little office or door or house, wherever the hell you're going in, and guess what? They're gonna make you feel like a king or queen for that time you're with them, and you need that. Now, people can just use that to get some positivity in their life. No problem.
Join a community.
Right. Now, the other part of it is that network marketing has, that's a real big plus, is now they're also teaching you that, like Michael Gerber, you can't be a vision. You can't be by yourself. You got to have a big vision. They sell you a big vision. Sometimes it's a vision that's kind of a pipe dream. Now, it's a very fine line.
Like get rich quick type of thing?
Correct. It's a very fine line. If I tell you you're going to get rich quick and fast, garbage. Straight up garbage.
And I think that's most of the perception of
yes.
marketing.
And here's why. Because the people, again, it's like a vicious cycle. The new person that's out there that maybe not be with the best trainer or best person that's teaching them something.
Or upline.
Whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. They go out and because they're excited, they speak on the products itself, but then they speak about the money and how much rich you can get, how big you can get, how much stuff, because they've never been talked about that before.
Right.
They've never seen that before. So in their eyes and their ears, they're so happy about that they have a future, that they could have a future. Because in the jobs you probably work in, no one's telling you every day, hey, you could be so big, you could do all this, right? No, you could be the boss, or you could be the next owner of this business. They're not telling you that stuff. So when someone hears that for the first time, they get very empowered by that, and they go out. All they talk about is that.
Right.
And they sell that dream of making a lot of money, but what they forget to do? Give the tangible product behind it. And they forget that, and they just say, hey, you should come over here and be a part of us because you could make this.
That's how Herbalife got in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Because they, in essence, weren't even talking necessarily about the products anymore. It became more about, just recruit people, distributors, basically the product became just getting the company.
That's it. Bad, right there. That's where you draw the line.
Right.
That's how I draw the line.
From zero to duplication in network marketing. What if I told you the secret to building a massive network marketing team isn't about being the best speaker, the most experienced, or even the most confident? It's actually about creating a win so simple that anyone can repeat it. Today, we're talking about from zero to duplication, how a complete beginner can get their first result, and more importantly, how that result can start duplicating through your entire organization. Here's where most people go wrong in network marketing. They bring someone in and then immediately overwhelm them. They start teaching the compensation plan, advanced closing techniques, personal branding, content strategies, show them recognition of the top people. And what happens? That new person who came in excited now feels confused, underqualified, and stuck. No action equals no results. No results equals no belief. No belief equals no duplication. Duplication doesn't fail because people are lazy. It fails because the system is too complicated. Let me paint a picture. Imagine someone named Sarah. Sarah just joined. No experience, no audience, no idea what she's doing. Now, instead of giving her 10 things to learn, you give her one simple goal. Let's help you get your first win in the next 48 hours. That's it. And here's the system you give her. Step 1. Make a simple list of 10 people. Friends, family, co-workers. No pressure, just names. Most leaders don't even explain why they are having them make a list. You must be clear as to why you are doing this. Why are they going to contact their family, friends, and co-workers? Here is where many folks go wrong. It's to present and sell them or to recruit them to the opportunity. So, what are you teaching your newbie in the first 48 hours? Are you teaching them to sell their closest people? Most network marketers do just that. Are you teaching them to recruit them? Most network marketers also teach that. What if I told you that this is wrong? At least in the present digital age, this approach does more harm than good. Why is that? Simple. Because everyone is doing this. This is why most newbies don't like making their list and contacting those they know. In other words, you are teaching them that the purpose of recruiting someone into your opportunity is to use them for their contacts, for sales, and maybe recruit some distributors. You are teaching the newbie that as a leader, you must sell the friends and family of your newest person. At least, this is how they view it. They think, you are just using me to sell to my friends and family, then what? And of course, they quit shortly after this. Well, what's the solution then? You have your newbie make a list of their top 10 people to see who they know, to develop them as a referral source. You ask them, did you know the average person knows 300 people by first name? So from 10 people who know on average 300 people each, we could expand this list to 3,000 contacts. Now you taught them an unlimited way to meet with prospective recruits and clients. You taught them a skill of creating an unlimited marketplace. You show your newbie that we are going to contact your lists, not to sell them, not to recruit them, but to duplicate an unlimited referral source. You see, no one wants to be sold, but everyone wants to buy. When the customer is ready, they will buy from you, so there is no pressure to sell or recruit them on the first interaction. The purpose of the first interaction or call is to get referrals of more people they know. This is networking through your contacts, and it puts into practice the 6 degrees of separation. The concept of 6 degrees of separation is a social theory that suggests that any two people in the world can be connected to each other through a chain of acquaintances that has no more than 6 intermediaries. In other words, you are connected to everyone else in the world through a network of relationships, and it only takes 6 steps or fewer for you to be linked to any other person. The idea was popularized by the social psychologist Stanley Milgram in the 1960s through his small world experiment. In this experiment, Milgram asked participants to send a package to a target person in another part of the country by passing it through a chain of acquaintances. The findings suggested that, on average, it took about 6 intermediaries for the package to reach its destination. The concept gained further attention and was later popularized in various forms, including the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon game, which connects actors to Kevin Bacon through their film roles. This game illustrates the small world phenomenon by demonstrating how actors in Hollywood are interconnected within 6 degrees or fewer. The theory reflects the interconnectedness of human social networks and the idea that the world is a much smaller place than it may seem. With social media and increased connectivity, some argue that the degrees of separation might be even smaller in today's interconnected world. However, the basic concept remains a fascinating exploration of the potential links between individuals across the world. We put this theory to the test, and it works as the cornerstone of your network marketing business. This approach allows the newbie to work through their social networks. Step 2. Send a simple message. Something like, hey, I just started something new and thought of you. Not sure if it's for you, but would you be open to taking a quick look? Step 3. Use a tool. Instead of explaining everything, she sends a short video and invites them to a call. Step 4. Follow up. Hey, just wanted to see who you would know that would be open to this information. That's the entire system. No overthinking, no perfection, just action. Now, let's say one person refers someone over to her, or they say yes to the opportunity. That's her first win. That one small win changes everything. Because now Sarah is no longer confused. She has clarity. No longer nervous, she has proof. And no longer doubtful, she has belief. And here's the magic. When Sarah brings in her first person, what is she going to teach them? Not a complicated training, not a long course. She's going to say, hey, this is exactly what I did. Let's do it together. That's duplication. It's not about creating experts. It's about creating simple, repeatable actions that produce results. If you're building a team, your job is not to impress people. Your job is to simplify success. Ask yourself, can a brand new person win in 48 hours? Is my system simple enough to explain in 5 minutes? Am I teaching too much instead of guiding action? Because every extra step you add reduces duplication. Here's what I want you to do right now. Whether you're new or you have a team, create a first win plan. Make it so simple that anyone can follow it. 10 names, 1 message, 1 tool, 1 follow-up. And focus only on helping people get that first result. Because that first win is the seed of duplication. Remember this. Big teams aren't built on big moments. They're built on small wins repeated over and over again. If you can help 1 person win, simply, you can help 1,000 people do the same. And that is how duplication really works. Most people talking about MLMs don't actually understand how they work. So today, we're cutting through the noise. Welcome to Lock and 2 Level Up. I'm your host, Jay Jabin, and this episode is called Network Marketing in 2026. What's fact and what's fiction? And as you're listening, I want you to think about your own experiences or questions, because at the end of this episode, I'm going to ask you to jump into the comments and keep this conversation going. Segment 1. Why MLMs are still talked about. Network marketing has been around for decades, yet it still sparks strong reactions. If you've ever had a strong opinion, positive or negative, I want you to remember that thought and drop it in the comments after the episode. No judgment, just real conversation. In 2026, the industry looks very different than it did 30, 20, 10, even 5 years ago. Without a doubt, this business marketing model has gone through many changes since the 1970s. Now, imagine that the internet did not exist for a moment. We know it's hard to imagine, but try. Put yourself in a time where you could not get any information at a click of a button or on a mobile device. Where would you get the information you're seeking? Most likely you would go to an expert, salesperson, library, university, and so on. This is why network marketing, multi-level marketing worked so well in the past. I have a business opportunity to discuss with you. Your prospect may reply, what is it? You would respond, it's a lot of information to discuss right now, but I am having a meeting this week about it. What's the best phone number that I could reach you and give you the address? That prospect, out of curiosity, need, or greed, would give you their phone number. Chances are that they would show up to your meeting wide-eyed and excited. The good old days before the internet. In today's digital world, anyone can post virtually anything online. It's only a matter of time before someone comments on your meeting through a blog or social media. Those posts may be positive or negative, dig into your social media presence, spread false rumors, or even challenge the credibility of your opportunity. This happens today all too often in network marketing. How then can you continue to use the network marketing techniques that work so well in the industrial age, but no longer work in the information age? Can these old school tactics work? Sure, anything can work to get immediate results. The question is, can you also have long-term results only using old school marketing concepts? Of course not. So, what do? You start searching online for answers in the ocean of information. You may be one of those serious network marketers that are overwhelmed and confused by what you read online. Again, any average Joe can post anything online. You do your own research, looking for the right answers to help you in this business, and yet you still continue to struggle. So, guess what? This video series is for you. Segment 2. This is probably the #1 comment I see online. If this has ever been your belief, or if you still feel unsure, comment below with why. Is this something you experienced? Something you saw? Something you were told? because understanding where the belief comes from matters. Now here's the fact. A pyramid scheme is illegal and always collapses because the money comes mainly from recruiting, not from selling real products. New participants' fees are used to pay the people above them, and without constant recruitment, the entire system falls apart. When recruiting stops, the money stops. An MLM, or multi-level marketing company, is legal in structure, but often controversial in practice to those that confuse it with an actual pyramid scheme. In theory, the income is supposed to come from selling actual products or services to real customers, with participants earning commissions from their own sales and, in some cases, their team sales. If it follows FTC rules, it's legal. But the real test is this. If recruiting disappeared tomorrow, a legitimate MLM should still survive by selling its products alone. The primary purpose of network marketing is to market, or better said, sell a product at retail. Without sales, you have no business. Your MLM opportunity provides a product at wholesale for you to flip at retail. At least that's how it was originally intended to work. This seems very basic, but most people don't understand this. Sales is simply the exchange of money for goods or services people want. No matter what job or career you choose, you are always selling something, whether it's a product, a service, or your time. When you work a job, you are selling your time to an employer who owns the network. We live that reality. We sold our time to employers so we could sell their products and services through their systems. One of us worked in an AT&T store, the other worked at a community college. One was a sales representative, the other an academic counselor. One sold cell phones, the other sold college courses. One sold phone plans, the other sold associate degree plans. Different titles, same role. We were both in sales. We were cogs in the machine. Our paychecks looked different, but the model was identical. Trade time for money while building someone else's business. To make ends meet, we even took on part-time jobs alongside our full-time roles. We waited tables, drove for Uber, proctored exams, and worked as janitors. Sometimes we'd run into people from our NM opportunity while working those jobs. Moments like that make you wish for an invisibility cloak. Anyone who has ever bumped into a prospect while working a full-time or side job knows exactly what we mean. Modern-day slavery did away with the shackles on your feet and put them on your finances. Today's economic and financial system is built almost entirely on debt. As Proverbs 22:7 reminds us, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Without going too deep into the weeds, even the dollars you earn are created through debt. For $1 to enter circulation, it must first be borrowed into existence. That's the reality of a debt-based economy. Don't take our word for it, do your own research. A great place to start is money expert Mike Maloney and his video series Hidden Secrets of Money. Once you understand how the system trades your time and energy for what it calls money, something shifts. Your mindset begins to change. And that shift is essential if you want to succeed in business. We strongly encourage you to pause here and watch episode 4, The Biggest Scam in the History of Mankind. In short, the monetary system functions like a legalized Ponzi scheme, a pyramid where elite banking families sit at the top. If you're an employee, as we once were, you're at the bottom. That's hard to hear, but it's the truth. Now for the good news. What if you could create your own version of a monetary system on a smaller legal scale? You'll never be a central bank, but you can become the next best thing. A successful entrepreneur who controls their own company and income. It starts with a paradigm shift, rethinking network marketing, and making a real commitment. As Yoda famously said, you must unlearn what you have learned. That means shedding years of conditioning from your upbringing, schooling, and even your uplines. Real change only happens when you decide to commit to becoming a true business person. The reality is this. Early on, progress requires deliberate planning, consistent hard work, and full commitment, often with little to show for it at first. That's the build phase. Once the foundation is in place, the equation flips, and focused, minimal effort can produce outsized results. There will be a stretch where your business demands your time and energy, but with the right guidance and strategy, that phase is temporary, not permanent. Segment 3. This one hits close to home for a lot of people. If you've ever tried network marketing or considered it and this fear stopped you, I want you to comment top or too late and share your thoughts or questions. Let's talk about what actually determines income in 2026. Income isn't based on luck or effort alone. It's driven by the value you provide in the marketplace and how hard you are to replace. The economy has changed, but the rules are clearer than ever. Income follows demand, leverage, and scalability. First, skills matter more than titles. What you can actually do and how well you can do it determines your earning power. Skills that are rare, technical, strategic, or hard to automate command higher pay. The more problems you can solve that others can't, the more leverage you have. Second, the industry you choose sets the ceiling. Some industries generate more revenue and profit than others, and pay reflects that reality. Technology, healthcare specialties, engineering, finance, and data-driven roles generally pay more than industries with thin margins or oversupply of labor. Hard work in a low-paying industry still produces low pay. So what do you know? Network marketing companies exist in higher-paying industries. Third, supply and demand decide wages. If many people can do what you do, income stays flat. If few people can do it, or few are willing to, income rises. This is why specialization beats generalization in 2026. The best paying MLM companies require you to obtain a state or federal license to operate, such as real estate, insurance, financial, and legal services. Some MLMs operate in saturated, low-margin spaces like supplements or basic skincare, where competition is brutal and differentiation is weak. Others operate in higher margin or recurring use categories. The stronger the margins and repeat demand, the higher the income ceiling. Supply and demand still decide everything. If thousands of distributors are all pitching the same message to the same people, income flattens fast. A strong MLM gives you a market that isn't exhausted and a message that doesn't sound identical to everyone else's. Leverage and scalability are the entire promise of network marketing, but not all companies deliver it. True leverage means systems that allow growth without proportional increases in time. If success depends on constant meetings, nonstop recruiting, or personal hustle with no automation, the leverage is an illusion. Company structure and financial health matter more than motivation. A well-capitalized company with stable leadership, transparent compensation, and long-term incentives can pay. A company that constantly changes pay plans, launches gimmicks, or overpromises is telling you it's struggling. Technology is a separating factor in 2026. Companies that integrate automation, digital onboarding, compliance-friendly marketing, and scalable tools give distributors an edge. Companies stuck in old-school tactics force you to trade time for income. Negotiation in MLM shows up as positioning. The top earners don't just sell products, they sell clarity, leadership, and credibility. If the company's messaging makes you sound like everyone else, your earning power drops immediately. Finally, ownership mindset matters. You don't own the company, but you are building an asset, a customer base, and a distribution network. Choose a company where customers can exist without becoming distributors. If the system only works when everyone is recruiting, it's not leverage, it's churn. In the end, choosing an MLM company is about alignment with reality. Income flows to real value, real customers, real demand, and real systems. Keyword there is systems and not just the promise of one that is sold as a pipe dream. If there is a great system in place for training, servicing clients, and building leverage through duplication, then high incomes are possible. If not, then income is temporary at best. So, how to grow exponentially in network marketing. It is a Ponzi. Yes, you heard that right, but before you disagree with me, keep in mind that I did not say it is a scheme. You see, every human institution in modern society is structured as a Ponzi or pyramid organization. A Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment scam that pays returns to earlier investors using money contributed by newer investors rather than from actual profit earned by the organization. Named after Charles Ponzi, who ran a massive scheme in the 1920s, these scams rely on a constant flow of new money to survive and inevitably collapse when new investments stop or too many investors redeem funds. A pyramid scheme is a system where the people at the top make money mainly from recruiting more people underneath them, not from real products, real value, or sustainable business activity. It only works as long as new people keep joining and feeding money upward, which means eventually most people at the bottom lose while a small group at the top benefits. Both schemes clearly take advantage of people. So, now that we are clear on this, let's look at how our modern day money system works. I mean, you did get into network marketing to make money, right? And not just money, but to have freedom, which really means more free time and money. Well, if you become clear on how money is created, then you will finally commit to growing your network marketing business. Because the only way you will be free is to create your own Ponzi or pyramid to leverage other people's time, technology, and yes, even money. Have all these working for you because the elite capitalists do. They sit at the top of the financial pyramid, especially with how money is created. This is where critics like Mike Maloney draw comparisons to the modern financial system. Maloney argues that today's economy functions like a massive debt-based pyramid structure, where new money is continuously created through borrowing, credit expansion, and central banking policies. In this system, economic growth depends on constant participation. New workers entering the workforce, consumers taking on debt, businesses expanding through credit, governments borrowing more money, and investors continuously pouring capital into inflated assets like stocks and real estate. The entire structure is further sustained by workers and consumers continuously paying taxes, servicing debt, and funding the system through their labor, spending, and economic participation. According to this perspective, those closest to the creation of money, governments, central banks, major financial institutions, and large asset holders benefit first through rising asset prices and increased liquidity. Meanwhile, younger and working class generations often feel the effects later through inflation, stagnant purchasing power, rising housing costs, higher taxes, and increasing financial pressure. The system continues operating as long as confidence, borrowing, taxation, and economic expansion continue upward, which is why some critics argue that modern finance increasingly resembles a pyramid structure built on perpetual growth rather than sustainable value creation. So basically, modern-day slavery did away with the shackles on your feet and put them on your finances. The entire economic and financial system in the modern world is built on debt. As the scripture says, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is the slave of the lender. Proverbs 22:7. By all means, do your own research. We encourage you to start with money expert Mike Maloney and his video series Hidden Secrets of Money. Once you understand how the system is stealing your time for what they call money, you will then start to make that mindset shift toward being successful in business. Take a quick break from this video and watch episode 4, The Biggest Scam in the History of Mankind, Hidden Secrets of Money. In short, the whole monetary system is a legal Ponzi scheme. Yes, it's a pyramid scheme, and elite banking families are on top. If you're an employee, you are at the bottom of the pyramid. This sounds bad, and we are sorry to say that it is. Now, for the good news, what if you can create your own version of the monetary system to a smaller scale? Yes, it would be legal. You will never become a central bank, but you can become the next best thing. A successful entrepreneur of your own company. It all starts with your paradigm shift of network marketing and you making a decision to get committed. As Jedi Master Yoda from Star Wars once said, you must unlearn what you have learned. You have to unlearn the patterns and years of indoctrination from your upbringing, schooling, and uplines. I encourage you, as Yoda does, to let go of outdated beliefs or habits to grow and adapt. It can only happen if you decide to be committed to becoming a true business person and mastering your craft of network marketing. So, now that you are clear on what you must create, and I assume you have your why, then it's time to get to work. How then do you grow exponentially? Are you ready for the solution? First, know that everyone else has the same problem as you. No, not the problem of what your products solve. Think much bigger. They all have the problem just like you of not enough time and not enough money. If everyone is an indentured servant, then deep down in their soul, they want to escape the rat race if given the chance. Well, guess what? You are providing the chance, and no, not like you think. You see, the reason most people fail to grow exponentially is because they are still operating under the same belief systems, habits, and patterns that they have been brainwashed with. They think the newest person that is brought into their organization will be the lotto ticket to freedom. They also think, just like the rest of the world, that shit rolls downhill on the pyramid. That if I can get the right person under me, they can build me an empire. If just recruit enough direct people to me, one of them will explode in growth, be the stud, and will push me to the top. No! That's the wrong mindset! Most so-called leaders in the industry may not say it, but it's what they're thinking. Well, what if to do network marketing right, you turn that pyramid upside down? What if it's not about you, although it is? What if it's about you freeing the newest person from their dead-end job? What if you, as their leader, get them the success and production? Not following? Let me explain then with this story from the good book. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 20, verses 20 to 28, the mother of James and John asked Jesus Christ to give her sons the highest positions in his kingdom, one at his right hand and one at his left. Jesus responds by explaining that they do not fully understand what they are asking, because true greatness in his kingdom comes through suffering, sacrifice, and service, not power or status. Here is the verse, as it is written in the English Standard Version, ESV. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came up to him with her sons, and kneeling before him, she asked him for something. And he said to her, "What do you want?" She said to him, "Say that these 2 sons of mine are to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your kingdom." Jesus answered, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I am to drink?" They said to him, "We are able." He said to them, "You will drink my cup. But to sit at my right hand and at my left is not mine to grant, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." And when the 10 heard it, they were indignant at the 2 brothers. But Jesus called them to him and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. It shall not be so among you. But whoever would be great among you must be your servant, and whoever would be first among you must be your slave, even as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Did you catch that? When the other disciples become angry at the request, Jesus teaches them that unlike worldly rulers who dominate others, his followers are called to be humble servants. Then he gave the ultimate example. Even he did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. The message is clear in God's kingdom. True leadership is not found in status, prestige, or domination, but in humility, selflessness, and serving others. So, if you truly consider yourself a leader, ask yourself this: are you genuinely serving people with humility and selflessness, or are you ultimately building for yourself? If the systems of the world, governments, corporations, and human institutions often operate through pyramids of authority, control, and oppression, then how is your network marketing business any different? Oh, that's right. You motivate them and teach them personal self-development. That should do it. That's not good enough. What if, instead of building a pyramid where everyone serves the top, you flipped it upside down? What if the strongest leader stood at the bottom, lifting everyone else higher? What if, just like the Lord, you flip that pyramid upside down and you pay the price for the people you are bringing into your organization? What if the best recruiter, the best salesperson, and the most talented person use their strength not to be exalted, but to push others upward? They get the praise, recognition, and credit for the production that you did for them. This is how you grow exponentially in network marketing. See, most people you bring into your organization start part-time and are trapped in this world, financial system, working 2, sometimes 3 jobs. How then can they build a business? They can't. I heard it from a leader in the industry that was forced to work a full-time job for a season due to some issue with compliance in the MLM company they were with. She said it herself. It's impossible for anyone working a full-time job to build a business. Well, she consulted me, and once she started with a new company, she tested this out. And you know what? After explaining this way of building a business, she did it the servant leader way and grew exponentially. Why? Because everyone starts part-time and can commit the bare minimum if that. But since she is the leader, she went to work for them. As the leader, she recruited and sold for her people. She did not need to use their warm markets of friends and families. As the leader, she brought new people, regardless of what the people on her team did. She stopped recruiting people direct to her and started placing them under the newest person. Instead of going wide with direct recruits, she recruited under them and recruited deep at least 4 to 5 levels below. This is going deep into your organization to use overlapping leadership to drive the multiples and help your, in one word, leverage. Another leader was able to take his organization from 2 people into 30 plus people, plunging into his trainings within a month span. He did it with the heart of a servant, and just like Jesus washed his disciples' feet. In other words, he did all the recruiting and selling new distributors. You know the hard stuff for his newbies. When you as the leader do this and take this servant approach, you also build trust with your team. You see, they don't work for you. You work for them. This is the true secret to every massive network marketing hierarchy that has grown exponentially. Their leadership duplicates this approach from the original leader that starts it. Now, some people may ask, won't that make them dependent on you? No, it won't. A mature leader understands when to hold on and when to let go. Think about driving a car. If network marketing is a vehicle for financial freedom, then as the leader, you must know when to keep your hands on the steering wheel and when to allow others to take control. The people in your organization who move quickly, take initiative, and start bringing in others are the ones you can release sooner because they've shown responsibility and growth. But you should never hand over your business to a complete beginner or someone unproven. Doing that isn't leadership, it's gambling. An effective business person develops people before giving them major responsibility. Some may also ask, won't this approach make people weak in the business? Again, no. It's similar to raising children. When children are babies, you do almost everything for them. You don't bring them into the world and immediately send them off to school or work. Of course not. You nurture them with patience, guidance, love, and care. As they grow and mature, they naturally become more independent. The same principle applies to the people you bring into your organization. In the beginning, they need significant support, direction, and encouragement. Your role as a leader is to guide them step by step until they gain the confidence, skills, and experience to stand on their own. But first, you must create all the activity and show them that this business works. You show them also that you don't need them because you will continue to create the activity to build a successful network marketing business. You don't need their friends and family. You can get people on your own. They actually get to come on this ride and participate with you. Now, when they see all of this happening, they'll naturally recognize that you are genuinely helping them achieve what they want, which, as we covered earlier, means escaping the rat race and gaining more time and financial freedom. They get to quit their full time once they have a team built and money flowing in. They can also now see that financial freedom is possible and you are helping them get it. At that point, financial freedom no longer feels like a fantasy. It becomes something real that they can see unfolding in their own life, and they recognize that you are playing the main role in helping them get there, which, as we covered earlier, means escaping the rat race and gaining more time and financial freedom. Once they've built a team and have consistent income flowing in, they can leave their full-time job behind. At that point, financial freedom no longer feels like a fantasy. It becomes something real that they can see unfolding in their own life, and they recognize that you played a role in helping them get there. Now think about the conversations they'll start having with their friends and family. It probably won't sound like, maybe you should look into this. It'll sound more like, you need to see what's happening here. Look at the commissions I'm earning. Look at the team we're building. This is changing my life, and I don't want you to miss out. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you to join. Now you celebrate every win for them, and the business is actually fun. Also, by taking this approach, you just created something very powerful here. FOMO, fear of missing out. I like to refer to it as fear of loss. You now have your new people talking to their warm markets with actual proof that thing actually works. You have turned your people into evangelists for you and your opportunity. They are walking, talking advertisements for you because you promised to build them a business and are actually delivering. Their friends and family will actually be missing out if they don't join. No hype, no smoke and mirrors, just proof that this actually works, and they will miss out if they don't get on board. In a world that oppresses people and keeps people from advancing, you are doing the opposite and pushing them up and advancing them. I know this may go against what you've been taught, but I ask that you approach it with an open mind. Like most people, myself included, at one point many of us approached network marketing through the lens of the faulty programming and conditioning we receive from the world around us. In the coming videos, I will be covering why this is the true version of network marketing, the psychology behind it, and the leader you must become. We continue with segment 4, you have to annoy your friends and family. Be honest, this is a stereotype that turns most people off. If you've ever been on the receiving end of those awkward messages, drop a comment and tell us what not to do. And if you've seen a better way done right, share that too. This space is for learning, not shaming. People who succeed don't treat their family and friends as customers. They respect those relationships and instead see them as referral sources, people who can point them to the right prospects without being put in an awkward position. You see, most network marketing leaders are still teaching people to prospect only their friends and family, as if the internet never happened. Sure, you might get a few quick sales or recruits at the beginning, but then what? Those tactics worked in the industrial age. They don't work the same way in today's information age. There's only so many times you can circle back to the same friends and relatives before they tune you out completely. Eventually, family dinners and holiday gatherings get awkward because everyone has their guard up. They've heard the pitch, they're not interested. When results slow down, you reach out to your leaders and get reassured that it's not the opportunity or even the system, it's just part of the process. Meanwhile, attendance at your opportunity meetings keeps shrinking. The reality is simple. The internet changed everything. People no longer want to spend a Wednesday night or Saturday morning sitting in an opportunity meeting when they can research the company themselves from home. That's exactly what prospects are doing. Sometimes they come back convinced they've uncovered a scam and feel the need to warn you. Even worse, our upline leaders were deceived as well. So, if you want to succeed in network marketing in 2026, stop relying on only the old ways. Again, the days of sharing your opportunity with your warm market are over in the traditional sense. It's time for you to enter the days where you are the opportunity and you leverage the internet and network marketing to your advantage. Now, will it surprise you to know that the top 2% of leaders know this to be true? Since they are aware of this change in the industry, what do they do next? They learn real marketing. Aside from learning real marketing, the other factor is that selling MLM as a quote-unquote business opportunity no longer works in our day and age. The reason being, network marketing is often pitched as a get-rich-quick dream. As a result, most people join for the wrong reasons, looking for a fast fix instead of a long-term opportunity. They aren't driven by belief in the product or a genuine interest in sales. They're chasing an outcome. Some people, like us, join for a different reason. Deep down, they want a real business they can call their own, and they genuinely believe network marketing might be the path to ownership. Unfortunately, that's not how it's usually sold. Prospects are sold the dream, flashy lifestyles, luxury cars, and the illusion of entrepreneurship. Then, once inside, they're directed to sell that same dream to their friends and family. That approach may have worked before the internet, smartphones, and social media, but we now live in an age of radical transparency. It's hard to believe these outdated tactics are still being used, let alone expected to work in today's world. With all of that said, you still want to start with your immediate market, your friends and family. The average person knows at least 300 people by first name. If you approach them with the goal of selling or recruiting them, you may never reach the people they know. Why? Because everyone likes to buy, but nobody likes to be sold. When you come in guns blazing with your upline, your friends and family instantly feel like a sales target. Instead, lead with the understanding that this opportunity may not be for them, but that they could be a great referral source. That shift alone dramatically changes the dynamic and increases your chances of success. Putting people on the spot and trying to hard close them into products or an opportunity often feels like strong-arming, and it triggers resistance. It's no different than dating. The moment desperation shows up, interest disappears. Segment 5. Network marketing is not for everyone. Here's a fact that doesn't get said enough. If you agree or disagree, tell me why in the comments. Your perspective might help someone else make a better decision for themselves. The fact is that it can be for everyone, but most people lack the entrepreneurial mindset that allows them to view the opportunity as a way to build a cash-flowing asset. Therefore, stop wasting your time with people that are programmed to be worker bees. Instead, spend time with those that think like you. Segment 6. What network marketing really is in 2026. In an internet-driven world, successful leaders have adapted. They are not just in network marketing, they are in the information business. They leverage online marketing, public speaking, and self-development, real estate, event planning, promotions, publishing, affiliate marketing, consulting, and merchandising. This is the real reason they win and most lose. They build multiple marketing channels and use them to distribute and sell their products and ideas. They are true entrepreneurs. They don't blindly follow the MLM opportunity they're in. They build businesses around it. And that leads to the uncomfortable reality. As a distributor in most network marketing companies, you are a sales representative, not an entrepreneur. Despite the claims of owning your business, in 9 out of 10 cases, you do not own the distribution channel. There may be rare exceptions, but remember this. At any moment, your downline can be taken away because it's not your company. When a network marketing company restricts creativity in marketing, it's a signal. They don't see you as an independent business owner. They see you as a commissioned sales rep, and it may be time to move on. In 2026, success in network marketing is about trust, branding, and problem solving, not pressure. It requires real marketing with proper training and systems in place. If you're currently in the industry or thinking about it, drop a comment below with what's working for you, what you're struggling with, or what you wish someone had told you sooner, or an experience, good or bad, that shaped your opinion. I'll be reading the comments, and I'll be pulling your questions into a future episode. If this conversation helped you think differently, share this episode with someone who still believes the myths. Give us a like and subscribe. I'm Jay, and this is Lock In, 2 Level Up, where we break down how to build leverage by learning the systems of the world and using them to our advantage.